Welcome to the Own Your Life podcast, where our goal is to help bring hope, healing, and peace by sharing our experiences and inspiring you to own your life. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Own Your Life podcast. Today we have a very fun episode. We're going to be talking about vacations, and we feel this is also a very important topic because a lot of us are high achievers and we have trouble taking vacations, whether it's finding the time to schedule it and to actually plan the vacation, or going on the vacation and not even enjoying it because you're so future focused that you're thinking about what you're going to do when you get back from vacation, whether it has to be with work or your kids or family or anything else. So to start off, I just want to talk about just some easy things to help the vacation be more enjoyable, like packing tips and being prepared for the vacation in the first place. Something that's helped Matt and I a lot has been using a packing list. And it's really just so you don't forget anything, because I know that, even if you're an experienced traveler, it's still easy to forget something, even something as silly as like your toothbrush or toothpaste or maybe a hairbrush or something like that. And by having the packing list, I feel like that takes the mental work out of it. It's already all there for you. And all you have to do is just check it off as you go down the list. I've actually put ours in a plastic cover so I can just use a dry erase marker, check it off, and then erase it and then use it, over and over and over again.
Yeah. And going back to the first part there about, just being a high achiever and not even wanting to take a vacation. So when I first started in the car industry and I was working my way up through the ranks, I worked 6 days a week for 5 years straight. And a lot of people are like, that's insanity. And yes, it was. And I didn't take a vacation day, didn't take anything off because I was just focused on my goal, focused on going to the next step in, the dealership world. And it worked. I mean, I was definitely a high achiever in that world. And it just was a lot though. I mean, in that it did cost me relationships. It cost me time with family. It cost me time with friends. It cost me not going to funerals, weddings, a lot of different things that had happened over that time frame. Yes, I made great money, but at the same time, it also cost me a lot in my life, long term, because you can never get back the time that you spent, investing in something like that. And the vacation time is there for a reason. It's there for you. It's there for you to unplug and relax, like we talked about a few episodes ago. But, a lot of people can't do that, and it's tough for them to do it. But I will tell you that when you can unplug and relax, you actually can come back and stronger, and you can work more effectively if you can unplug a little bit and start enjoying a little bit of your life with the time that you do have.
Yeah, that's so important you said that. I thought back to a job that I had out of college, and I was working a ton of hours too. I was a restaurant manager, so I was working crazy hours at night, and I was always the closer. They always gave me the closing job. So I was working like 4 or 5 p.m. until 2 or 3 a.m. or later every single night. And it was pretty much 6 days. I think I had 2 days off, but usually got called in because somebody would call out or somebody be sick or something would happen and I need to go in. And our business was all based off of occupancy, and we were downtown Indianapolis. So we had a lot of events go on and things like that. So it was really hard to schedule any kind of vacation because it also had to do with the event schedule of downtown. And I remember vacations I actually did take. I didn't take very long ones. It might have been like 3 or 4 days at a time. And my boss gave me crap for it. Like, he made me feel guilty for taking the vacation, was like, oh, well, I wish I could take a vacation. And, oh, that's so nice that you get to take a vacation. And it was ridiculous. Looking back at it now, I'm like, are you kidding me? You guilted me into taking, because I wanted to take my time off that I earned every single year. It's crazy. So that's one of the other things that keeps people from taking vacation. It can totally be guilt. And if that's you, you earned it. You earned that vacation time and you deserve to take it. That's a boundary issue. That's a whole other thing that we can get into on another podcast, but you need to have that boundary to where even if your boss or even coworkers or anybody else is giving you grief and a guilt trip that you want to take a trip, that you need to put that boundary in place and ignore them, because it's your time. And if they have a problem with it, that's their problem. That's not your problem. So if you're dealing with guilt on taking a trip, let that go, because that is not your problem. If somebody else is jealous of you going on a trip and trying to throw you a guilt trip that you're going to plan a vacation, because you are definitely worthy of that. And I know that I've dealt with that in the past, and I let it bother me, and I let it bother me all on the trip that I went on, because I thought about, I should be back at work and I should be there, and they're upset that I'm here. And that I didn't have healthy boundaries. I was also like 22 and I didn't know anything about boundaries at that time, but hindsight's 2020. And now if you're in that position, I would totally tell you that you need to take that vacation. And we all need to take vacations because we need that time. Like we did the unplugging and recharging podcast. Like that is very important for us to have rest time. We're not created to be machines. We are not supposed to be on 24/7 and working nonstop all the time, whether you're a stay-at-home parent or you're a high executive at a job. Like we are meant to have breaks. It's okay to rest. It's okay to take a vacation. And another reason why we're even talking about this today is by the time this airs, Matt and I will be on a plane. We are going to Colorado to visit some really good friends of ours, and my brother and my sister-in-law live out there that we're going to be visiting as well. And so I'm just thinking about, how I want to feel on this vacation, and I want to be very purposeful in it to where when we're gone, that I'm enjoying the present and that I'm not focused on, what did I forget to do on the way here? Or, what am I looking forward to when I get back? No, I want to focus on the present. And I feel like that's just been a tough thing for me in the past to work on. But I really want to get the most out of this vacation because we haven't been on a vacation in a long time. And I'm sure a lot of you haven't because of COVID and a lot of other changes that we've had this past year. It's made that very difficult. But when you do, and the next time you do go on a vacation, just giving you some helpful tips so that you can be present and you can really enjoy that time that you've earned.
Yeah, it's tough sometimes when you're in a high level position, when you're chasing down goals and everything like that, to really enjoy that time that you have when you're off. I know that for me, for a long period of time, I would always take phone calls on vacation. I would always take different things on vacation with me, laptop, phone, all the stuff, and still doing everything I needed to do while being on vacation. I know Ashley really enjoyed that. She was really super excited about it. And I think that, she knew more than some of my coworkers, especially just from the conversations I had, because I answered my phone so much while I was not at work, that she knew a lot of stuff that went on in my work, which, sometimes is a decent relationship building thing, that you're a significant other's world, but not in depth that much, because then it becomes kind of a gap between you at some point, because now they're just annoyed that you're even answering your phone. They're annoyed that you're even on your phone while you're supposed to be spending time with them, because I would answer the phone at dinner, at family events, vacation, whatever. I was always reachable, which is a boundary issue like she was talking about before. But, in my world, that was what I needed to do for us to succeed. And I didn't want everybody to fail because I wouldn't answer my phone. So I felt like it was my responsibility, which is also an issue as well, long term. Anyways, about vacations and just enjoying them, is that I had to learn to really shut off my phone, to not take the laptop on vacation, to literally learn how to unplug, because at some point it's not that important. It's literally just not important for anything that is going on. It's not an emergency. A lot of times is that people think that it's going to be an emergency or whatever. And if it is an emergency, I get it. Your family can call the hotel. They can call whatever it is. They can get a hold of you. But as far as work's concerned, there are no emergencies. And for most of the jobs that we have, I know that some people may be doctors or whatever, there could be an emergency. But most of America, there are no emergencies, and you can definitely get back to whatever it is at your job that you need to do when you return. So you can unplug, so you can be better, so you can be more successful when you do get back.
And I know some of you might be thinking, oh, I can't turn my phone off. I have to take a bunch of pictures. Well, the cool thing is you can put it on do not disturb or airplane mode so that you don't get calls or text messages, but you can still use the camera function on your phone so that you don't have to be interrupted, but you can still take, a bunch of pictures if that's something that you're into. And I find it funny when we're preparing for vacations that it's like we put so much time in the prep work and we rush to get everything done before it. It's like we get a month's worth done of things in 2 days before we leave on vacation than we would have if we weren't going on vacation. And the thing about that is I feel like we put so much time in the prep, like I said, but we don't even enjoy the vacation and it's already over. And then we're back home and we're like, man, I really need a vacation. Well, you just went on one, but you didn't enjoy it while you were there. So it felt more like a project than an actual vacation. And then when you get home, you like, oh, I need to go on another vacation now. So I know that that's been an issue for me, like I said before, but it's really figuring out not just being in the present, but I feel like spend your time wisely when you are on vacation. I know for this one coming up, we do have a couple things planned, but it's not planned out to a T. I feel like if you have every single minute planned out of your vacation, then you're going to be disappointed because life happens. Things are going to happen. Something's going to throw off your schedule. Maybe something's going to be late or not open at the right time or whatever, or maybe it's full, sold out, and you can't do it or go to it. And then you have to readjust. So I think planning is smart to plan parts of your vacation, but I think you also need to have time for spontaneous things to happen and to be able to have that free time in there too, to pick out, oh, let's go do this instead. Or, oh, I saw a sign for this place. Let's check that out. Or I saw this restaurant or the locals said to go here. That you have that extra time so that you can fit in fun, spontaneous things because we want to enjoy the places that we go to. At least for Matt and I, we want to explore. I am not the person that goes on vacation just to lay out or just sit in the hotel room the whole time or by the pool or whatever. I want to do things. I am way more adventurous. I want to go out, do things, see things, try new foods, see new cultures, things like that if I can. That's kind of my ideal vacation. And I know for this one, we've got a couple things, like I said, a couple things planned, but a lot of empty free time so that whatever happens, we're going to be, cool with, and it's going to be part of it that we're going to enjoy. And I think it's okay to even have goals for the trip. I know that honestly for us, like I want to take a bunch of pictures because I want to update a lot of stuff like with our profiles. I feel like I've had the same profile picture for like 2 or 3 years. And it's just something silly like that. But I know we're going to be around some pretty cool backgrounds and hiking that's going to be part of my goal for the trip is to get a lot of those shots and being prepared to do that. I've already warned Matt that we're going to take probably 1,000 pictures. And that's not joking. I love pictures and I love scenery. And when I can be out in that, I definitely want to take advantage of it and to enjoy what's around me, so I can enjoy the vacation and be more in the present than so focused on, oh, we didn't do this at this time, or we had this planned and it didn't go that way. I just want to be okay with what's going on in the present so I can enjoy the vacation.
Yeah, I may need a vacation from the pictures. And a lot of people, it is true though, that a lot of people say when they get back from a vacation, they need a vacation from the vacation. And it's like, then you never really unplugged. You never really changed anything that you do on a daily basis. And I think that a lot of this has to do with really just being mindful of what you need as an individual when you're on vacation. When you're taking a vacation, is it for, yes, it's for your family. Yes, it's for you. Yes, it's for your relationship. Yes, it's for a lot of things, but really it needs to be for you too. What is it for you that's going to change, your mindset when you get back, or your mental capacity when you get back? Are you really unplugging to really enjoy what's going on? Because I know that there's so many different things within what I'm saying here, because some people look at it as they get so frazzled while they're on vacation because the kids are doing this. We're going to go out and do these 8,000 trips like Ashley's talking about. And, we're going to do all these, adventures or whatever. And you never get that time to really relax. And I'm not saying that, you need to unplug by a pool and have 8 margaritas for days on end. But if that's what it takes, if it's one day, if that's what you need to do for you to feel like you can come back and accomplish whatever you need to accomplish when you get back to your job, your business, whatever it is, then that's what you need to do. But I think that scheduling time almost in there for being intentional with the time that you need to get what you need out of the vacation is so important, because there's only a certain amount of time that we have to unplug, recharge, and to really enjoy things in life. So make sure that you're taking advantage of that while you're not in the office, while you're not in your business, while you're not in whatever it is that you do on a daily basis, of really being intentional about that, because social media is not unplugging. If you're on social media the whole time you're on vacation, that's not unplugging. That's not a vacation. You may actually get more stressed out by having more time to actually be on social media. So be cognizant of that. So it's not just phone calls, emails, text messages, computer work or whatever it is. It is unplugging too from social media, because that will stress you out. It's proven fact. And we talked about that before, I know, but this is an important part of that for vacation as well.
Yeah, that's a great point, Matt. Like we had said before, we had talked about our honeymoon a couple podcasts back, that we just saw all these people on their phones during it, and it just blew my mind. They weren't appreciating the place that they were and the place that they paid the money to be at. And that's another thing that I think is really important, is to also plan ahead for your budget, to have a budget for the vacation, and not just to let everything out the window like, oh, we're on vacation, so we can spend, $3,000 and it's fine. Unless that's your budget, that's great. But it's important to have a set budget so that you're not going to set yourself up for failure when you get home and then have to undo the damage that you did on vacation because you spent way over your budget than you wanted to. If you didn't talk about it beforehand. So I know Matt and I have talked about it multiple times, like, hey, this is kind of where we're at. This is kind of what I'd like to stay in between while we're there. We already have some things we've already paid, like we've already paid for the flight and the stay. But obviously food is a variable. If we want souvenirs, anything like that, we go to a museum or something, all of that is variable money. So that's also something that you need to plan out, is what are you going to spend on this trip to something that's not going to stress you out further, so that when you come back from the trip, now you regret it, you're upset, you're way off your budget, you're way off your plan of whatever you wanted to either save, or maybe Christmas is coming up, so now you mess that up. So it's just really, really important that not only do you plan for what you're going to do and all that, but you got to also have the budget ready so that you're not going to be even more stressed out when you get home and have a lot of things to undo.
Yeah. And one thing that you can do to eliminate stress on vacations is try and get the direct flight there, so you don't have connecting flights. I know that sometimes it may be a little cheaper, and I get it, but if you're going to miss the connecting flight, then you're going to be a lot more stressed out, and it may be worth the extra $120, $130, a piece of whatever it costs to get the direct flight there, because I travel a lot. So I see a lot of people running through the airport, freaking out with their bags, freaking out with their family, and yelling at their families and getting all flustered. And it's like, oh, that's going to be a great vacation. I've witnessed people screaming at their spouses on the plane, sitting next to each other. I'm like, oh, I bet you guys can't wait to get to the hotel room and check in. And I think that's, a part of it is that trying to eliminate as much stress as you possibly can, with packing, with direct flights, with having easy access to wherever you're going, whether it may be getting a private chauffeur or whatever from the airport or whatever to get to there, or getting the actual tram to get you to the rental car or whatever it is, making sure it's easy for you to get in and out of the airport, because I think sometimes that stresses more people out than anything, is just getting in and out of the airport. So it doesn't have to be stressful. It just makes sure that you arrive in time where you're not running through certain areas and getting the flights that you need so you can really be comfortable while you're traveling. Because I think that sometimes just the stress of starting the vacation and ending the vacation is enough for people where they don't enjoy the vacation anymore because of all the intricate things that happen on the way there.
Yeah, I think that's important. You said to be comfortable, because I thought of at an airport. So if you guys haven't traveled in a while, or if you're used to traveling, like you do realize that being comfortable while you're on the plane is huge. Like that is a great way to start your vacation. And you're going to have to go through security. So don't wear a bunch of crazy stuff that you have to remove and then put everything back on in a hurry and hold up the line and then have people either yelling at you or giving you mean looks. Wear something simple. Make it as simple as possible. I feel like simplifying the processes around the vacation is going to help you enjoy the vacation so much more. And Matt, since you have so much experience with traveling by doing business travel all the time, so what are your main points and takeaways about like business travel versus leisure travel?
I mean, business travel, definitely, I would say that if you're business travel, never check a bag. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be so much better off by just doing a carry-on. And learning how to pack the bag was a challenge for me. Learning how to roll clothes and learning how to pack them properly, and just learning how to fit stuff in a carry-on and be gone for 5 days. With sport coats and all that stuff like that. I would love to carry on a bag for our vacation, but that's not going to happen because there's 2 of us, and we're going to pack some extra stuff because we're obviously Colorado's a little different too because of the climate changes. You never know what you're going to get with it being 30 degrees some days and then other days being 75. So we're going to have to pack a little extra for that. But with business travel too, is that I have TSA PreCheck, so I definitely recommend getting TSA PreCheck. It's a game changer, especially in major airports across the country, because going through O'Hare in the regular security line is awful. TSA PreCheck is so fast compared to everything else, and you don't have to take off your shoes, which is a huge help. And you don't take off your belt and all that jazz like that for business travel. So it's huge for that. So I would say that if you can get TSA PreCheck or clear, those are both helps for passing major security lines. And just make sure that you're comfortable with what you are traveling with too. Is that try to do direct flights as much as you can. That helps you out. And I would say that if you can do Emerald Club with National, that's a game changer. Because you don't have to actually do any type of rental car counters and stuff like that. You pass the rental car counter, and it's you literally just walk up to any car in the Emerald aisle. You just throw your bag in, and you're on your way. And when you actually drop the car off, you don't have to do anything either. You just tell them to email you the receipt. You don't have to wait for them to check it out. You don't have to go to a counter. You don't have to turn in keys. You don't have to do any of that stuff. It's a game changer as far as business travel is concerned. So that would definitely eliminates a lot of hassles. So that stuff we get to do obviously on our vacation. So, which is awesome. It's a huge blessing.
Yeah. One of the last things that I just want to talk about is I feel like Matt and I started off really well with vacations. One of our very first vacations, knowing each other, we went to Vegas. And we had so much fun there. We had such a good vacation. And that was kind of like the moment of truth. If we didn't get along on the vacation and it didn't go well, then we probably wouldn't have ever gotten married or even continued after that.
You're welcome.
Thanks, babe. But because we had such a good vacation together, we didn't fight, we didn't argue, none of that. And the relationship was also so new, but we handled it so well that I always look to that example, and that I want every vacation with Matt to be like that. I want to have a great time, not stress about money, not stress about what we're going to eat, where we're going to go, what I'm going to wear, none of that. I enjoyed every single minute. I had so much fun with Matt. And honestly, that's one of my favorite places that we've ever been to because we had such a good time there and made the most of it. And I feel like that just set a really good example of how I want our future vacations to be. So I'm very looking forward to this Colorado trip. I've been there a couple times, not with Matt. So I'm excited to go with him just to enjoy it and just have a really, really good time, because I feel like we both really need it, and it's just going to be awesome. So we hope this was helpful for you guys, and that you got some vacation tips, you got some packing tips out of it, and just realizing that it's about spending your time wisely and enjoying the vacation that you're on, not being so stressed out and then coming home and being like, oh, now I need to go on another vacation because I didn't even enjoy that one. So anyways, we hope you guys loved it, and please share, subscribe, rate, and review us. And until next time, own your life, because your life is your responsibility. Thank you all for listening. If this added value to you, please click subscribe and rate and review us. You can also find us at Own Your Life Co. on Instagram and Facebook, and ownyourlifeco.com. And as always, own your life, because your life is your responsibility.